Welcome back to the High Tempo Sports Podcast, everyone. Episode 59 today. Happy Saturday. It is freezing cold out this morning.
It is so cold out.
How's your week been?
Good. It was kind of slow, kind of boring.
It's been a boring week, yeah.
It's like life has been on pause for the last little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we're coming up on Christmas break. Got like 2 weeks of school left. We're getting there. We're going to pass econ. I know we are.
Oh, we're passing econ. I'm not failing that class.
Oh, no, never. It is Saturday, so obviously we don't have weekly picks or anything going on today, but we did have some pretty crazy news happen right after our show on or not right after, but later in the night on Wednesday night, as something that I kind of thought was just going to not ever happen. Russell Westbrook got traded. I was on my phone, and I went to my house after we got done recording. I was there for like an hour, and then I was in my car about to leave, and I didn't even see the ESPN alert for some reason, because I got it. And I just was on Snapchat, and Jagger texted me, and he was like, I can't believe that trade. And I was like, what trade? And then I went to ESPN, and I saw it, and I was like, no way. And then I called you.
Yeah, and I had no idea either.
I know, it went so under the radar. Like
I had no idea. But if you didn't know, Russell Westbrook was traded to the Washington Wizards for John Wall and a first-round pick.
Yep, 2023 protected first-round pick, so nothing. It's one of those picks that it's like top 16 protected, and then it's top 12 protected, then it's like top 8 protected, and then it just turns into 2 seconds. So it's not that good of a pick.
Not at all. This trade was interesting because trade talks had pretty much died down for the Rockets to the point of where I thought they were just going to roll with their team.
It looked like they were just going to go into the year with Harden and Westbrook, yeah.
Because I thought they built a team that like Harden and Russell Westbrook would be like happy with. But it sounds like James Harden is super excited to play with John Wall.
Yeah, and it came out that he would rather play with John Wall over Westbrook. But yeah, my initial thoughts of this trade was, what the heck was the point of this?
Yeah.
Like, there was no point in doing this trade. I've kind of thought about it, and I guess if Harden prefers to play with Wall, even though he's never played with Wall before, sure, maybe that's cool. John Wall, before his injury, was a better defender than Russell Westbrook.
Better shooter than Russell Westbrook. Not by a lot.
Maybe.
Not by
maybe.
It's like a small.
There's very similar players.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. This trade just doesn't really make a lot of sense because it doesn't make Houston any better. It doesn't. They're on the same contract where it lasts the same length, and I'm pretty sure John Wall's is just a little bit more than Westbrook's. And then for Washington, yeah, this makes them a playoff team, but it doesn't push you past a first round exit. I don't know. This trade is interesting. It's hard for me to imagine that Russell Westbrook is like happy about this because if he were to get traded from Houston, I feel like it had to have been a team like the Pistons, honestly, a team where he can go there and be like the only guy who can average 20 points a game. And now he went from playing with the leading scorer in the NBA to the second leading scorer in the NBA. So like, it's not really much of a change for him.
I actually think the New York Knicks is the perfect roster. I think that's the perfect home for Russell Westbrook. Like, if I was to say where he should end his career, it'd be in New York.
Yeah,
I think he fits.
I really like. Yeah,
fits the
I would
city,
like that.
The Madison Square Garden like atmosphere,
especially with their squad this year though too. Like just with the young guys with RJ and Obi Toppin,
Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah, like I would really like to see Westbrook. Yeah, I don't know though. That lineup is not a lot of shooting.
No, you're gonna struggle to shoot the ball.
Especially you got Kevin Knox at the 3, another inconsistent shooter,
and Frank Nitti coming off the bench.
Yeah. Yeah, this trade is a very interesting one. Like I said, I'm not sure what to think about the Wizards and Rockets yet. I'm going to have to wait for the rest of the season because I was looking at the Rockets roster, and it's just like they have no depth, like at all. Like they have their starting 5 of, which I assume is going to be Wall, Harden, either Daniel House or Eric Gordon, Christian Wood, and either Boogie or PJ Tucker. Probably you might start Wood at the 5 and PJ Tucker at the 4.
Yeah,
because PJ Tucker he might deserve to start. I don't know. Boogie, I wouldn't be surprised if Boogie came off the bench. But off the bench, let's say you have Boogie, you have Macklemore, and then you have House or Eric Gordon, and then that's pretty much it. Like for guys who are typical NBA players, yeah. Like Chris Clemens might have to play for this team,
I think their roster is definitely more improved than it was last year. I think it's a better roster.
Oh, yeah, because with the addition of Christian Wood and Boogie, I agree. They lost Austin Rivers. They lost Jeff Green. They didn't really lose much, obviously, other Westbrook, and Covington.
They
did trade
wanted to
Covington
get rid
as well.
Westbrook.
Yeah.
And Covington.
I mean, but they pretty much traded Covington for Christian Wood, pretty much.
Yeah.
And obviously we didn't get Covington, but, but yeah, is there anything else about that trade you want to talk about? Any, like, who you think won the trade?
I think Washington won the trade, but I think Houston's going to be better off
I
from
think
the trade.
I think that Houston might have won the trade, honestly, but I can see why, you know, you would think Washington won the trade.
I don't think John
I really
Wall
don't know.
will be a issue like in the locker room and just like
Yeah.
I don't think he demands as much attention as Russell Westbrook does. But we'll see. And
It's weird to think that Russell Westbrook is going to be playing for his third team in 3 seasons. That's weird. You know, he seemed like a Thunder for lifer guy, and now he's playing for the. He posted on his or the Washington Wizards posted a TikTok of it was just Westbrook talking to like taking a video of himself in the arena, and he was like, "What's up, Wizards fans?" And it was just like Russell Westbrook is playing for the Wizards. Like, that's just such a. That's so weird. Right? He just seems like such a high market guy. He's never really played for. I mean, Houston's a pretty big market, but OKC really isn't. Obviously, Washington really isn't.
But when he was in OKC, it was a big market.
Yeah, just because they had stars.
Yeah.
But,
I'm super excited to do our NBA rankings, like our power rankings.
Yeah.
Not power rankings, but like
our standing predictions. Yeah, I know because
I have no idea.
Because here's the thing. I've seen people on TikTok be like, Houston won this trade because Washington, you know, they're just going to be struggling to make the playoffs. Like, Washington's going to make the playoffs. This roster they have is
good.
They would have made the playoffs with John Wall. Westbrook, I think we can agree that Westbrook is better than John Wall right now, simply because we haven't seen John Wall play in 2 years. Like, this team is definitely a playoff team. Westbrook, Beal, Denny, Rui, Thomas Bryant, and off the bench they have Troy Brown Jr. They have Mo Wagner. There's more guys. Davis Bertans. Yeah, I mean, I don't even. He might start actually.
Yeah, he probably starts over Denny
at the 3 though, or you start Rui at the 3.
So Rui plays the 3.
Maybe. Yeah, you probably do start Davis with Westbrook just to space the floor a little.
I hope so,
because him and Thomas Bryant.
If you don't start Davis Bertans after that contract, you'd be crazy.
Yeah, that is true. But yeah, that's anything else you want to talk about with that trade?
No.
Next on the news, Anthony Davis finally signs his extension. I didn't write down how much it was for, actually. I thought I did.
$190 million?
I think so,
4 years?
I thought it was 5 year. 4 year,
yeah,
190. Yeah, that would be crazy. Yeah, big time contract for AD. We all expected it to happen. Especially with LeBron signing his extension. So
I wonder how deep into the luxury tax the Lakers are.
Oh yeah, because they weren't in the luxury tax last year, but
this year LeBron just signed an $85 million extension.
I mean, yeah, obviously he's not. They're not. That doesn't count for this year. But
Schroeder.
AD does, Schroeder does, Harrell does,
and Bron still counts with his $40 million.
Bron's still making almost $40 million. Yeah. So yeah, big time move for the Lakers to get AD back. Next on the news, it's been reported that a bunch of Michigan politicians are lobbying for San Francisco 49ers defensive coordinator Robert Saleh to be the next head coach of the Detroit Lions. Apparently, I don't know what it means by Michigan politicians, but Adam Schefter tweeted a whole story about this, that they've been contacting the Ford family, Sheila Hamp Ford, and just like telling him, hey, this needs to be your next coach. This guy needs to be the next coach. And that's kind of been all the talk now. It's not even the Casey's. Everyone's saying that Robert Saleh is the preferred guy over Casey. I still can't. It's Kevin something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Forget his last name. But
this is good.
I like this.
This is a good thing
because Robert Saleh, like I said in the last episode, is a very player coach guy. Like, players want to play for him. Richard Sherman, one of the most ego-minded, he's just a very high-strung player, has a lot to say about Robert Saleh, how he's a great coach. So if a guy like Richard Sherman says that, he had problems with Pete Carroll. So, that tells me that he is a pretty good coach. So I would love to have him in Detroit because obviously we need something new.
Well, the best part about him is where Jim Caldwell wasn't an awful coach. He was a bad coach in RX. He couldn't get us past that first round.
And he didn't really take risks either. He didn't.
But now with Matt Patricia on the way out, we can only be happy with whoever we get.
Yeah.
So Robert Saleh is going to come into a great situation where his expectations are they're going to be high, but
probably not though.
An 8-8
not
season.
As high, they're not going to be as high as Matt Patricia's.
An 8-8 season will make us happy.
Yeah.
Let's just give us 8-8. please.
But yeah, that just kind of makes me a little excited. Once again, I don't really know what it means by the Michigan politicians, like
I don't know if big Gretch
like senators or is Gretchen Whitmer like
calling the Ford family.
Yo. Next, though, is some more NFL news. Josh Gordon has been reinstated by the NFL. He is eligible to play for the last 2 weeks of the season, and then including the playoffs. This is huge because he is technically still part of the Seattle Seahawks, and he can return to their training camp as soon as he gets cleared through COVID testing and everything. But big-time news for the Seahawks because they were a team that said they wanted to go sign Antonio Brown. They said they planned on signing him, and then that's when the Bucs just did it. So they're looking for another weapon for a playoff run. And Josh Gordon, we really haven't seen a full Josh Gordon since Cleveland. So
and that's been a long time.
It's been a long time. He might not even be good anymore.
And what, that was like 2015, 2016?
That was like 2015 or 14. Yeah. I remember because that was one of the first years I played fantasy football with my family, and I had him in fantasy. I picked him up off waivers, and he was super good. But I would love to see Josh Gordon in the NFL again because obviously the NFL doesn't do testing for marijuana anymore, and that's the reason why Josh Gordon would always get in trouble. So, And speaking of that, actually, the NBA announced that they are going to be done testing for marijuana. So
this season,
I assume it's probably for further notice, though.
Because they said it wasn't because of like anything other than COVID issues, but I don't know what weed has to do with COVID issues.
Well, I'm pretty sure weed's gonna get legalized in all of America here soon.
Well, it's just I know it's like I assume this is like a test run for the NBA. Like, we're gonna say it's due to COVID, but we're just testing to see if this works.
Yeah, and to see if it's an issue or not. Yeah,
and then if it isn't, they're gonna roll with it for the rest of time. I assume.
Dion Waiters, big news for Dion Waiters.
J.R. Smith.
Big news for I'm trying to think of some other guys, but
Matt Barnes is still in the league.
But yeah, that's what we got for that. And some college football news. Ohio State and Michigan State is going to happen today. The game is going to be played. It was rumored that the game might get canceled because Ohio State still is having a lot of issues with COVID. And, there's actually been a lot of talk that Michigan State's going to win this game because Ohio State has a lot of guys missing due to COVID and being, restrictions and everything.
And Michigan State hasn't lost to a ranked team, have they?
Have they only played 2 ranked teams? I think so.
They're undefeated against ranked teams.
I mean, they're 2-0 against top 15 ranked teams.
I don't see how you can think State's not going to win this football game.
That'd be awesome if State won, though, because BYU and Cincinnati, 2 undefeated non-Power 5 schools, have they're going to try to find a way to get into the playoff, and Ohio State loss would be huge for teams like that. So, yeah, anything else you want to talk about that was news related that I kind of forgot?
I don't think you forgot anything.
So something I want to talk about really quick is some NBA kind of stuff for this upcoming season. So as far as the fans and everything goes, if there's going to be fans, because the NBA kind of came out with a whole article about who's going to have fans, how the restrictions and everything are going to be. There's only a couple teams that are going to have fans. The Memphis Grizzlies are going to have 20% capacity. Utah Jazz said they're going to have up to 1,500 fans. Atlanta said only friends and family, and Golden State apparently wants to have 50% capacity.
I think Golden State has something special, don't they?
Well,
don't
they tried to get something special. They tried to get something
testing,
that
hyper speed.
You get
testing.
rapid testing before you enter the arena. Like if you're a fan, you get you get a test for COVID, and if you are positive, obviously you can't go, and if you're negative, you can go. But that plan was rejected by the health department in the Santa Clara County or whatever.
See, I think they actually got the stuff to do it too. I think they spent $6 million.
I understand why not though, because if someone tests positive right in there, it's just like, oh well, now everyone in this area, now
everybody who's next to you,
exactly,
has to leave too.
So yeah, it's I don't know. It's an interesting plan. I understand what they're trying to do, but I also understand why it was rejected. And obviously, there's going to be no All-Star game this year. I hope that doesn't mean that they better still pick All-Stars.
Yeah, there'll be All-Stars.
Well, because in that article it said it has not been decided yet whether All-Stars will be named or not, and you got to.
Yeah,
right?
why wouldn't
you? That's an accolade. Being an All-Star is a big time deal. And then the play-in tournament is something I want to talk about as well.
That could ruin a streak for a guy like LeBron.
Yeah, exactly.
Of winning All-Stars in a row,
and just most All-Stars ever. Like Kobe and Kareem, I think, are tied for the most. Like LeBron's
19?
trying to, I think it's 18 or 19, yeah. But the play-in tournament, last year there was the play-in tournament between the 8 and the 9 seed. It was the Blazers and Grizzlies played last year, and it was a kind of a big time deal. It was something really cool, something new. It was a playoffs before the playoffs type thing, and the NBA is expanding on it for this year. So this is how it works.
It's almost like their version of a wild card.
Yeah, kind of. So this is going to be different because this involves the 7, 8, 9, and 10 seeds. So technically there's going to be 10 playoff teams this year.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of. So the way that it's going to work is this. I don't know if it's going to be how it was last year where you have to be within 4 games of the 8 seed. Probably not, because I think it's just going to be 7 through 10 no matter what. But the 7 seed and the 8 seed, that once the season is over, those 2 teams will play a game. The winner of that game will be the 7 seed. And then the loser of that game will play the winner of the 9 and 10 seeded game. So the 9 and 10 seeds will play. So pretty much the 7 and 8 seed have 2 chances at getting in. The 9 and 10, you can't lose.
You can't lose.
Yeah. And
That's
and it makes it so that the 9 and 10 can't get the 7 seed. Like if you're the 10 seed, you can get the 8, but that's it. Super interesting. So you could see a team, who kind of maybe battled through injury, like the Blazers, a team that battled injuries all year, kind of gets healthy towards the end of the year, barely gets in this playoff game, and then they end up winning.
They count as playoff games, right? They'd go towards their playoff stats.
I think so, yeah.
That wouldn't be a regular season
I think
game.
no, it's definitely not a regular season
it'd be
game.
playoff. I'm just thinking about, like, what if that ever played into, like, who was the leading scorer in the league that year.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. But, I'm a huge fan of this new idea from the NBA. It's just going to make things a lot more interesting, especially in today's league, because
there's now 10 teams.
There's at least 10 teams in the West. At least 10 teams in the West who I consider playoff teams. Probably like 11 or 12. So in the East, maybe not so many, but hopefully the Pistons don't somehow get the 10 seed in the East.
They can if they just lose. That'd be nice.
No, I'm saying hopefully they get the 15 seed in the East, so they don't even have a chance at making the playoffs. So before we get into we kind of are going to be talking about college basketball the most today. I do want to just have a little NBA talk before, because we're going to do our preseason standings, but I just want to talk about some specific teams. So the first question I have for you is, what team are you most excited to watch this season? Like a team that maybe we haven't really seen, like a new branded team, or what are you most excited for?
I am so excited to watch the Phoenix Suns this year. It is, like, unbelievable. Yeah. I've mentioned, I think DeAndre Ayton's going to make a jump to an All-NBA contender.
With Chris Paul.
I don't know if he makes the team. I don't know yet. I said Cam Johnson's going to be a sophomore who breaks out this year. Devin Booker is only going to be better with Chris Paul in the backcourt with him. It's just, he had Ricky Rubio, but, like, Ricky Rubio isn't Chris Paul.
Yeah, Ricky Rubio is a great floor general, but
he's not Chris Paul.
He's not on Chris Paul level.
So we're going to see Devin Booker, I think, explode efficiency-wise. I think it's going to be his most efficient year. I don't see how the Suns missed the playoffs after their performance last year, but who knows in the West? Another team I'm super excited for, just for the fact of LaMelo Ball, is the Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah,
like
I'm interested to see Gordon Hayward too, because
it's his role as a first option.
Try to be the number one option. Yeah,
and I don't know how many Hornets games I'll get to watch, because like
they'll probably be on TV just because of Melo.
Yeah, I guess maybe.
Like they'll have some primetime games.
They'll still suck though.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited to watch them. I'm excited to watch the Pelicans this year. Get a full season of Zion. I think Memphis will be a lot of fun. Brandon Clark is another guy who could take, like, I guess not a big jump because he was already really good. Like, I don't know how much better he gets from here on that roster with Jaren Jackson and John Morant growing around him too. But I still think that team's going to be very solid. I don't know. Are there any teams like you're super excited about?
The team I'm like most excited to watch is the Brooklyn Nets, because we haven't got to see KD in a year. We didn't see much of Kyrie last year. I'm interested to see how the Nets are going to adjust to finally having a healthy KD and Kyrie, because Dinwiddie, LeVert, Jared Allen, Joe Harris, all them guys are going to have to adjust to, because Kyrie was hurt for a majority of last year and KD didn't play a single game. So now they're going to have 2 guys that are ahead of them, and I'm interested to see how they're going to play, because the Nets have a lot of depth, but they're also in their first year as a super team, and a lot of super teams don't have a good history in their first year. They're not a super team, but just they're a really good team.
They might be a super team.
I don't think there's any really super teams in the NBA right now.
Yeah, I guess.
Because a super team is pretty rare, but the Nets are one of the best teams in the league, and this is their first year kind of being all together. And that, like I said, there's not a very good history of that in the NBA. The Heat back in 2011. The Clippers last year, you know. So I'm really interested to see the Nets. Another team that I'm really interested is the Golden State Warriors, just because, you know, no Clay. Hopefully Curry can stay healthy all this year. I'm really interested to see how James Wiseman's going to be. Oubre, Wiggins is another one that, you know, maybe I want to see if he's going to play any different in Golden State than obviously he did in Minnesota. Do you think Golden State is a championship contender right now?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
But I've seen
the league's too loaded. I'm gonna check the thing real quick.
I've seen a lot of stuff everywhere where like people won't have Golden State make the playoffs, and I get that like they're probably gonna make the playoffs, but I don't think it's crazy to have Golden State out of the playoffs. Yeah. I don't think that's an insane take. I will have them in my playoffs. I think, but I don't know. There are so many good teams. I'm just not sure. No doubt, Steph Curry is Steph Curry. He's that great, but I'm not sure they're good enough around him. I'm really excited to watch how Oubre performs this year.
Exactly, because there's a lot of guys who have to prove themselves this season on the Warriors.
The Warriors have been in coast mode the last 4 regular seasons that they've been good. I guess maybe not the 72-10 year. But like they've been like or 73-9. They coasted. They were just okay, let's just get into the playoffs and we'll win, right? This year they can't coast. You're gonna see Steph Curry trying to put up 40 every night. They're all going to be going hard, and I'm super excited to watch that team.
Yeah, because they could be really good. You know, like we don't know.
It's all how hard they want to play.
Okay, so I have a question for you. I'm going to give you 3 teams that like bottom tier teams in the West, and only one of them can get in the playoffs.
Okay.
I'm going to do a couple different sets. So I'm just thinking off the top of my head. The Suns, the Jazz, and the Pelicans. Who gets in out of those 3? If only one were to get in?
The Suns.
You think so?
Yeah, I think the Suns. It could be the Jazz.
It's probably the Jazz, honestly, in my opinion. But I don't know, because the Jazz are a team that I don't know if I'm going to put them in the playoffs or not. Because like I said, obviously, the only team you have falling out of the playoffs for sure from last year is the Thunder. For sure, you know. But then you have 5 teams that didn't make it that probably should in the Grizzlies, Grizzlies, Pelicans, Warriors, Suns, and
that's it because Sacramento's the last team.
No, there's another one too or Timberwolves. I mean, they're going to be fighting for it. They're probably not going to get it, but yeah.
I mean, there are seriously 14 teams who are seriously competing for this playoff spots.
Yeah.
This might be the best regular season of basketball you've ever seen because everybody has to play hard, or else you're not getting in.
Let me do another one here. So what was the last one I did?
Jazz,
Suns, Pelicans. Okay, Grizzlies, Warriors, and I had another team that I was right. Oh, and Mavericks.
Oh man, I'm taking the Mavericks here. I think Luke is gonna explode. Kristaps is only gonna be better this year. Not that the Warriors will be bad, but they were good last year. The Mavericks were. They weren't an 8 seed. Like everybody knows that. Kristaps was hurt for some part of the season.
They were a 7 seed.
Yeah, 7 seed.
Yeah,
they
but
played
still,
the Clippers. They're a lot better than that, and I think they got better this offseason. Even though I think they got better, but I don't remember their moves.
I got one more because I just thought of another team, and I'm gonna include some teams that I already said. So Warriors again, Suns again, and Houston Rockets. New look Houston Rockets.
Houston's got to make it.
Yeah.
I don't see how Houston doesn't make it this year.
I agree.
Houston's going to be... Houston, they won't be better than they were last year, like record-wise, but they'll be a better team than they were last year, I think.
Yeah. I don't really... I'm like, that's another team that I'm just like, I don't know where I'm going to put Houston because James Harden and Houston haven't missed the playoffs, you know? And
they're the longest active playoff streak,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, in the NBA, yeah. Higher than the Warriors. So, yeah,
well, the Warriors is 0.
Oh, true. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna do one in the East because the East is pretty interesting too.
There's
honestly,
6 NBA championship contenders.
So here's only one could get in: Wizards, Pacers, and what was the other team that I wanted to say? Oh, I forget who it was. Wizards, Pacers, and I'm just going to say the Bulls just because I'm trying to think of another team. So pretty much just between the Wizards and Pacers.
I'm going to go with the Pacers. I think the Pacers are going to be good this year if they stay healthy. Malcolm Brogdon's going to be better. He's a stud.
They just have some stuff going on in the locker room right now.
Well, VO, I mean, all that stuff that came out about VO, like telling other teams, like telling the Raptors, I want to play for you, like during game. He said that never happened, and like his teammates confirmed.
And he came out and said
happened.
that he's fully committed to the Pacers too, which is just so weird because he requested a trade.
It's just backtracking. He's just backtracking at that point.
And obviously, I know we talk a lot about doing our preseason standings. I really want to do it.
But there could be another.
But I want to wait until the last possible time because I don't want a James Harden trade to happen after we make our predictions and have to redo it.
Ivan, we're starting a fantasy basketball league, and Ivan's like, we should do the draft. Like last night, he said, let's do the draft. And I was like, Paul, I was like, dude, Harden could get traded.
Somebody could get hurt. No, you got to do it at the latest possible time.
I was thinking like 3 days before the NBA season starts, we do it then.
Yeah. So, is there any NBA teams that maybe we didn't mention that you're interested to talk about?
I am interested in watching the Celtics this year, strictly because I think Jason Tatum has a pretty decent shot at winning the MVP this year. Like,
depending on how good Boston is.
I think it's a pretty good chance. And then the more I thought about it, does Luka really have that good of a chance to win the MVP?
It really just depends on how good Dallas is.
But you think they can be a 3 seed?
Because you know Luka's going to put up numbers.
But you think they can be a 3 seed?
I do think that if this is a year that a 5-seeded team, a guy could win MVP, just because one, it's a shortened season, so there's not going to be as many wins. And
there will probably be 3 games between 1 and 6.
There'll probably be like 5 games max between 1 and 6. Yeah, like there's going to be a lot of teams with a lot of wins that are lower in the West. So, I could see it. Because in the past, other than Westbrook, in the past since 2000, it's been a 1 or 2 seed. I'm pretty sure that's won MVP every single time. Except Westbrook was the 6th seed. When he won it, but he had one of the best MVP seasons ever. So
and it does make sense. I like that they do that.
Yeah,
you should have to be on a good team.
If you're putting up horrible numbers, I agree that you should. I used to think it was dumb when I was younger because I didn't realize the significance of
winning,
being a leader, and being on a good team, but. You ready to hop into some college basketball?
Yeah.
So, just some scores some games that happened this week. The number 1 team, Gonzaga, beat the number 11 team, West Virginia, 87-82. They continue to roll. They've knocked off 2 Big 12 teams in Kansas and West Virginia. Speaking of Big 12, number 2 Baylor in a top 5 matchup knocked off number 5 Illinois. Did you get a chance to watch that one?
I didn't get a chance to
watch it.
It
was a good game, but Baylor handled Illinois pretty much the whole game.
Didn't you called me, didn't you?
I think I don't know, maybe.
I don't know how to say his name still.
Ayo Dosunmu.
Ayo Dosunmu.
Him and Jared Baylor, Jared Butler, 2 of the best guards in basketball right now, had to show off. But Baylor's depth, they had like 2 guys come off the bench and put up 15. So, and then Luke Garza has now scored 30 points in the first half in back-to-back games.
He is shooting like 80% from the
36 in the first half when he scored 41. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's ridiculous.
I think he's shooting right now 25 for 29 on the year.
That's nuts. And he is taking jumpers too.
Yeah, he's not a layup guy. He'll shoot 3s.
I mean, he'll take hooks and stuff, but he's good. He is unreal. Very, very good. And then last night, Michigan State took on Detroit Mercy in a scary one. State only won by 7, and it was a close game right towards the end, but Rocket Watts had another fantastic game, put up 23. And then Marquette upsets number 4 Wisconsin. Did you see this game last night?
No, my dad texted me though.
Really?
Because I was at Ivans and like my dad was like, "Are you watching the Marquette Wisconsin?" I was like, "We don't get cable here."
Me and Jagger and Scuba were watching that game. And did you see that? Did you see like a highlight of how it ended though? It was on a buzzer beater. Marquette was at the free throw line. It was a tie. They were down by 1. Made the first free throw. Second one, it was 0.9 on the clock. So he missed it on purpose. And Marquette center tips it in for the win. It was crazy.
Who was Marquette's best player this year?
Carton, DJ Carton. He was at Ohio State last year, lefty point guard. I don't know why he transferred because he was getting a lot of touches at Ohio State too, but very good. I mean, really good guard, very good shooter. He had a very good game. And then Michigan the other night beat Ball State. Yeah. And they play somebody today, right? Who do they play today? UCF. That's who they play.
Yeah, Michigan doesn't have a very good, strong schedule at the start of the year.
Yeah,
it's a lot of boring.
They don't have a lot. They don't really have any non-conference big games.
No.
But speaking of big games today, we have the number 1 team playing the number 2 team in the country. Number 1 Gonzaga taking on number 2 Baylor. That game's at 1:00. I'm excited to watch this game because I really do believe that Gonzaga is like the best team in college basketball, and obviously they're the number one team, so it's pretty easy for me to say that. But like they've handled their a couple of their games against really good teams. They're looking to win the Big 12 right now. They've already beaten Kansas and West Virginia. Now they're playing Baylor, but Baylor's looked really good too.
And you'll see from my rankings, I think Drew Timme is unbelievable. I haven't seen a lot of Jared Butler. Like, we're going to do our top 10 list, and I haven't seen him ever.
Yeah. I like Butler. He's a very good floor general. Guy who was supposed to go to the draft last year and came back for another year. They also got Massey Teague, another guy, their backcourt. I mean, Baylor runs like 4 guards in their starting lineup, and then with their big, I forget, he's like from Africa. He's really good. But both of these teams, I mean, Gonzaga, Jalen Suggs, looked like he ruptured his Achilles or something in their game the other night and then ended up coming back in the game, and he's fine. So
Jalen Suggs is unreal.
Been very good as freshman. Corey Kispert, too, has been, their senior, their wing player, very good. I mean, this is going to be an exciting game. And then Sunday, Michigan State takes on Oakland, but then on Wednesday, they take on Virginia. They get the Hauser brothers get to go off against each other. I'm excited for that game big time because State, they had a big win against Duke, and now they get to play another top team. Virginia has already been upset by somebody. But
and Sam Hauser was, at the beginning of the year, is not a front runner.
He's a preseason All-American. Yeah. He's in the Wooden top 50
and now he's playing his brother, and there's not bad blood, but there's like a wanting to prove something to mom and dad there.
Oh yeah, I'm the better brother.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So do you want to get into our top 10 players right now? So we're doing our top 10 players in college basketball right now.
This is difficult because I haven't gotten to watch a lot of college. I mean, there's only been 3 games.
Yeah, I've tried to watch as much as I can, but I just watch what's on TV. I'm not watching the random games. There's a couple guys on this list who I haven't gotten to watch yet this year. But I've seen highlights of them, obviously. But I have a bunch of honorable mentions that I'll kind of just talk about afterwards. So
number
let's get
10,
into it. Number 10.
Florida guard Keontae Johnson.
I have him on my honorable mentions list.
He's a monster. He's a bucket.
They were playing last night or the night before. Florida was playing somebody, and they're playing Boston College. And Keontae Johnson balled out. Like
he's legit. I like the way he plays too.
He's a big guard too. Like he is very muscular,
big body,
6'7". I mean, I like Keontae's game a lot. That Florida team is nice too. Scotty Lewis, they got Trey Mann too. They're a nice team. My number 10 is supposed to be a top 5 pick in this upcoming draft. Evan Mobley from USC. I got to watch Evan Mobley for the first time the other night, and he played very well. I mean, he is a lengthy center who can kind of do a little bit of everything. He really
he blocks a lot of shots.
Reminds me a lot of a Karl Anthony Towns type of guy where he can stretch the floor, he can pass the ball well, he can handle the ball. He does block a lot of shots, but defense is a little bit. He's a little skinny for a center, but
it's his strength on the defensive side. He changes a lot of shots, but he's not going to body anybody.
Exactly, yeah. He's kind of like how Chet Holmgren is. Like, Holmgren's a fantastic shot blocker, but he's a smaller center.
Yeah, he'll change a lot of shots.
But yeah, I like Mobley a lot, and I wouldn't be sad to see him in a Detroit Pistons jersey.
I watched a lot of Evan Mobley in high school, like when he played for Compton Magic and AAU. He was a monster.
Yeah, he won California Mr. Basketball like the last 2, or Player of the Year like the last 2 years.
My number 9, LSU guard Trenton Watford.
Okay.
He's talented as all hell.
Sophomore, yeah.
He's a monster. I haven't seen much of him play, but I've seen his highlights.
Yeah, he was a guy who kind of, if he would have went to the draft, he'd have been like a second-round pick, and he decided to come back. Smart decision by him because he'll probably be a late first this year. Yeah, I like Watford's game a lot in a good SEC conference. I got a guy who we were just talking about, Corey Kispert from Gonzaga at number 9. Fantastic shooter, fantastic scorer. This Gonzaga team has a 3-headed monster, and Kispert is the kind of the leader. I mean, I know that Timme has probably been the better player, but Kispert is the senior, and he came back, and Zaga is so good, and he's a key piece of their team.
My number 8, Evan Mobley out of USC.
Okay.
He's just an absolute monster. I really like his game. Like you said, he might be a top 5 pick this year in the draft. Just based off his ceiling alone, I really like his game. I really wish he didn't go to USC.
Yeah, because I mean they're just not. They're usually never. I wish that Zaire Williams would have went to USC.
So they could have been hyper competitive.
His final 3 was Stanford, USC, and UNC. I think so. That'd have been nice, but Number 8, I have Marcus Zagorowski, junior guard from Creighton. Creighton is really good this year. They're top 10 right now. I think they're number 9. Zagorowski, though, is a fantastic shooter, one of the better shooters in college basketball, and he's a great playmaker. They've only played like 3 games, but he's averaging like 9 assists in college.
That's nice.
In college, Cassius Winston averaged like 5 assists a game in college, and he was, one of the better playmakers we've seen. Zagorowski, though, he's a junior. Very good basketball player, and Creighton, the first time they've been this good since Doug McDermott. So
he's another guy that I haven't gotten to watch play this year, so he's not on my list.
I haven't watched him this year. I did watch. I was just watching SportsCenter last night though, and they just showed the highlights from that game, and he played really well.
My 7 is Corey Kispert.
Okay,
for the Zags.
Yeah, my 7 is Colin Gillespie out of Villanova, senior guard. Villanova, looking to be very good this year. I have his teammate Jeremiah Robinson Earl on my honorable mentions. A very good duo for Villanova. Villanova always has just a guard that's always really good.
Javon Quinterly still on that team?
No, he transferred to Alabama, I think.
Oh yeah, he's definitely in Bama.
I think so.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I like Colin Gillespie a lot. Fantastic shooter. A lot of these guys are really good shooters. So.
A lot of these guys are scorers. It's tough to not.
There's a couple guys on who are up towards the top that aren't, but
Remy Martin out of Arizona State. It's my number 6. The kid can straight up score.
Yeah, he's a scorer. Yeah,
like
smaller
puts up
guard.
So many points for Arizona State on a team where he's sharing the backcourt. Kind of. I mean, Josh Christopher plays the 3-2,
but and he's got Marcus Bagley out there too. And Marcus Bagley's supposed to be a first-round pick this year as well. Remy Martin was on my honorable mentions list. I really wanted to put him on here, but I just liked everyone else a little more. But he was actually the number 1 guy that I wrote down on my honorable mentions. So that was, what am I on round 6? My number 6 is Drew Timme from Gonzaga. I love Drew Timme. I wanted to put him a little higher, but the top 5 for me was kind of set in stone before I made my list. Timme has been fantastic, though. I mean, he's another guy that is just... he really reminds me, this is so, I shouldn't really be saying this, but he really reminds me of Jokic. He really does, because he'll take the ball at the top of the key, he'll do a dribble handoff with somebody where he'll fake the handoff, take off to the hoop, do a crazy finish layup, a very gifted, skilled center. He's kind of a forward / center, but...
I think he only averages 0.7 assists a game.
No, I know, but I'm not talking the assist wise. I'm talking just the ball handling.
Yeah.
He can handle the ball
really well.
Yeah, definitely the assists I wasn't really talking about, but can score the ball really well. Great rebounder, pretty good defender too. So
good shooter.
Yeah, and he can knock it down. So he's the leader of that Gonzaga team, and that's why he's this high.
My number 5, I think, in all honesty, is the best. I don't know how to say this because he's not the best shot creator. But if he's one of those guys where if I want a bucket, I'm giving it to him and letting him go and do his work. It's freshman out of Kentucky, BJ Boston. The dude can straight up. He's great ball handler, gets his shot up. Whenever he's getting shots up, they look good because he's always open. On whatever move he does, he might be a step back. That's not a normal move in college basketball that you're going to see a lot.
Yeah.
But it still looks really nice, and he's going up with it. He's been having some nice posters this year. He's a monster. I really like and I came in when we were talking about the way too early predictions. You said BJ Boston was a guy you really liked, and I was like, I'm not high on him yet. I'm sold. Yeah. I like him.
The reason I have BJ Boston on my honorable mention, he was actually the first. Remy Martin was second, but BJ Boston. The reason why I said I really liked BJ Boston was because for the Pistons' sake, at least. I kind of, even though I said something about Evan Mobley, my ideal Pistons draft is to get a 2 guard that can play next to Killian Hayes. That's kind of what I want them to do. And so I like BJ Boston, Jalen Green, Zaire Williams. That's why I like those guys who can play the 2 next to Killian Hayes. That's
what position does Terrence Clark play?
He's shooting guard. He's shooting guard. He's tall.
He's a big
6'7". He probably might be a small forward. 6'7", 6'8". I like Terrence Clark a lot too. But so I'm in the top 5 now.
You're on. Yeah, 5.
Number 5 is, for me, easily the best defender in college basketball, Marcus Garrett out of Kansas. Fantastic defender. The senior can guard 1 through 4. Won Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year last year at the wing position, which is you don't see that very often in college basketball. It's pretty much just centers that win that. Marcus Garrett, though, is fantastic, very athletic. Shooting the ball, is a little is kind of just the question mark of his game, but can handle the rock, play make, all around a really good player.
And he's another guy that I haven't watched any Kansas this year.
Yeah.
So I don't. He's
that
not
was
on
something
my list.
that I kind of went off just of last year.
Yeah, and you have to watch to see a really good defender.
Yeah.
Like, you have to watch.
Yeah,
the game.
exactly.
So he's not on my list, but I don't watch a lot of Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4 for me is Drew Timme. I think he's the best player on the best team in college basketball. He's unreal.
Yeah. And like I said, I had Timme at 6, and I felt like I was disrespecting him, but I just had him at 6.
He's a monster.
Yeah, he's a beast. Number 4 is another guy who we talked about a little bit already, Jared Butler. Jared Butler, like I said, a fantastic guard, junior from Baylor, part of a loaded Baylor team, and he's the leader of them. That's pretty much all I got to say.
Number 3 for me, out of Oklahoma State, Cade Cunningham. He is a monster.
Yeah, he's insane. I mean, he's the idea. I want Cade Cunningham the most.
Yeah, obviously, but
But-
we have to get the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
And we fall every year.
For me, personally, I think Cade Cunningham is no question the number 1 pick in the draft.
Oh, me too. I don't think
As
there's,
of right now.
there is a no, because whether you need a point guard, shooting guard, or small forward, he does all 3.
Yeah, I mean, I would be fine drafting him and playing him and Killian Hayes in the backcourt together.
Oh, yeah. I'd be happy with having a 6'8" shooting guard.
Yeah.
I'd be fine. He is a monster. He does everything. He passes, he rebounds, he scores, he dunks on people. He's a really good defender.
He does it all. Like he literally is such an all-around player. He was hitting post hooks in their game the other night. Fantastic in the transition. I mean, one of the best.
He's
prospects,
such a good outlet
One of the best
passer.
prospects I've gotten to see since I've been a basketball fan.
He's such a good outlet passer.
Yeah.
He gets that break going.
He's like LaMelo Ball, but just better at
Everything.
Pretty much everything, probably except playmaking.
Yeah, LaMelo Ball is probably a little bit better playmaker, but like Cade Cunningham will also
still has
dunk
that.
on you,
Yeah.
like big time.
And he'll knock down a shot.
Yeah.
And play defense.
Yeah, like he's a monster.
Yeah. My number 3 is not Cade Cunningham. It's Ayo Dosunmu out of Illinois. I've talked a lot about him on this podcast already because he's fantastic, man. He every game he'll have 26 and 6. You know, he has a kind of close to triple-double game every game. He rebounds the ball well, fantastic at playmaker, and just scores the basketball. And is the leader of an Illinois team, has, Kofi Coburn and Adam Miller, just a nice squad. And Ayo is one of the better players in the league right now and could win Player of the Year.
Yeah, absolutely. And my number 2 is Ayo Dosunmu.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to watch him play, but I need to get around to watching Illinois.
Oh, yeah. Illinois has been
Miller.
fun to watch,
Yeah. And I don't even know what position he plays. Is he 2 guard?
Who?
Ayo Dosunmu.
He's like the point guard. He's a taller point guard, but
Okay.
I will say that he was like the only one that played good in that or at least scored the ball a lot against Baylor. Like Coburn had like 4 points like late in the game. Like they shut him down, but yeah. My number 2 though is Cade Cunningham.
Yeah. And,
excellent player. I've said enough about him.
and number 1, I don't think there's any debate. It's Luke Garza.
No, Luka Garza, number 1. I mean, he is a beast. I mean, I hate and I don't really like him either. Like I'm not a fan of him because he plays in the Big Ten, and it's weird because I like Ayo Dosunmu, but I'm just scared that Garza when we play Iowa because we had Xavier Tillman to lock him down last year, and this year I don't know who's gonna do it because I don't know. We might have to start. We might have to start Matty Cisco just to guard Luka Garza.
Well, I can't think of the guy who came off the bench on 15. What's his name?
Oh, Julius Marble?
Yeah.
Maybe, but Marble's only like 6'8".
Oh, yeah, he can't guard him.
He plays big, but he's athletic. I don't know.
He can't guard him.
But
maybe he can.
Yeah, that's our top 10 players. Let us know if we missed anybody that you're thinking. But the other guys who I had on my honorable mentions were I had BJ Boston, Remy Martin, Keontae Johnson. I also had Jalen Johnson, Jeremiah Robinson Earl, Masio Teague from Baylor, Sam Hauser from Virginia, and Trace Jackson Davis from Indiana. So, yeah, what was... Oh, our free agency predictions, yeah.
Yeah.
So, obviously, a couple weeks ago, we did our free agency predictions. We did our personal top 20 free agents and predicted where they were going to go. Let's see who did better. I'm just going to tell you right now, I did not do very good, like, at all. I think it was episode 51 or 3.
51?
It was 51 or 53, because I remember looking at it to check. 53, yep.
Did I not write mine down?
You definitely did. Oh, no, you didn't. Yeah, you didn't write yours down. You were just saying them off the top of your head.
No, I do remember that.
Oh, man.
Damn.
Well, maybe you'll just remember. Do you remember where
I
you
remember
picked everyone
Rondo.
to go?
I picked Rondo right.
Well, okay, I guess there's really no point in doing it then. But I got 3 right though. The only ones I got right were, and none of them were. All of them were re-signings. I got AD right, which obviously everyone got that. I got Davis Bertans right, and I got Dragic right, and that was it. I didn't get anybody else, any of them right, which was kind of disappointing. I mean, you would have got AD.
Yep.
You picked Bertans to go back to Washington, right? You didn't pick Dragic though, but you got Rondo.
Mm-hmm. I picked Dragic to go to the Hawks.
The Hawks too, yeah. So you got Rondo right. I'm trying to think if there's any. I don't think you got any of the other ones. I think you got 3 as well, because you picked Gallo to go to Atlanta as well. You picked Montrez to go to like Dallas or something, or Toronto, or yeah, something like that. So yeah, we both didn't do very very good at that. But so do you want to want to react to the city jerseys right now? Let's do that. So if you don't know, the NBA or all the 30 teams have come out with their city jerseys, and we're here to react to them. So we're gonna try to show them. Hopefully this is on YouTube, because
our last one had some issues.
Yeah. So let's just get right into it. Go in alphabetical order. Hopefully you can react to them as well with us. The first one is the Atlanta Hawks. We're just going to rank them out of 10, what we think. They have like an MLK-inspired jersey. All these jerseys are based, obviously, off of the city, the history of their city. These MLK, they're nice. I do like these jerseys.
Yeah,
they're really clean. I'm going to go a 7 out of 10 on them.
Oh, I'm going to go 8.5.
8.5. I like them. I mean, they're kind of simple, but I do like the format of them a lot. But they're
not Peachtree jerseys.
Yeah, they're not as cool as their ones they had. Yeah, but they released their court for them too, because pretty much every team has super sick. Boston Celtics are next. Theirs is to represent like their 17 band or championships and everything. I'm gonna give it like a 2 out of 10.
Yeah, I was gonna say 2
out of 10. I mean,
it's
just
bad.
Really boring. Like it's just
the problem with the Celtics is they're so like history based.
Yeah,
that they are refusing to branch out, and they need to.
And
like,
the coolest thing about the city jerseys is like it's something different.
It's
like,
the opportunity to branch out.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you don't have to use your team colors, and you don't have to. This is just about you're something cool about your city. And
I don't care what you do. Put a teacup on there.
Boston is boring. Next, we have the Brooklyn Nets. A little like it reminds me of like a crayon, like a coloring type. I don't know why. Like I like these.
Didn't Kyrie have a pair of shoes that were?
Yeah, he did. These are an 8 out of 10 for me. I love the font.
These have something to do with Basquiat. He's
Jean Michael. Yeah, it says it right there on it. Yeah, Jean Michael Basquiat. Yeah.
I don't know who that is. I like him.
Probably an artist of some sort.
I'm gonna give it a 5.5.
Really?
I'm not a big fan of them.
I like them a lot. I think I like the Nets classic jerseys they're gonna wear. Those light blue ones. Those ones are sick. Next we have the Charlotte Hornets, the Buzz City, the light blue Charlotte
yellow stripes
is spectacular. 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. I mean, I love this. I want Melo Ball jersey now. Next, the Chicago Bulls. Ooh, I like this.
I like these a lot. And they're simple. They're plain.
They're simple, but they're also just like the font is really like just cool. Like
I love what's going down the rib cage.
Yeah, I like that too. I'm gonna give that an 8 out of 10.
I'm gonna give it a 7.8.
7.8, yeah, not bad. Cleveland. Oh, it's pretty similar to Chicago, and not really. I love the font.
Yeah, Cleveland's actually been getting a lot of hate on their jersey.
I know. I like that font.
So do you know what the font is?
No, it says like Cleveland Amplified is their motto. It's like
famous artists and like rappers or bands.
It's about because Cleveland's all about rock and roll.
Yeah,
right?
it's like a letter from each of their like logos.
Oh, okay.
I love it. I think it looks sweet. I'm 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm going 8 out of 10. I mean, I rank things pretty high, but I like Cleveland's a lot. Next, we have the Dallas Mavericks. The white and gold, clean, mythical movement is their motto.
I think this jersey will grow on me when I see them in it.
I don't know how I feel.
I'm gonna give it right now a 5.
I'm giving it like a 4 out of 10.
I'm just not. I don't think it's an
A lot of people are really raving over these, and it's just like it's just white and gold, right? Like it's kind of. I don't really know if it matches that well.
Either.
It might look different on the court, but I'm gonna give it a 4.
When I think of Mavericks like special edition jersey, I think it was ugly ass. Like bronze ones they had.
Well, remember those?
They're like brown.
Oh yeah, remember their city jerseys last year? Those like neon green, blue ones. I liked those.
Those were decent.
Everyone hated on them for being like little kid jerseys, but I actually liked them. Next we have the Denver Nuggets, kind of just a different colorway of a jersey that they had last year of that blue one that they rocked last year. I like these. They're not like my favorite. But it's different because this isn't really your typical Denver color. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. I do like it.
I just think when you're making
different.
a Denver City jersey, you gotta have like the rainbow on there somewhere. So I'm gonna give it like a 4.5. Because I don't really like the red color either, and I miss the rainbow. The rainbow is my favorite part of the Denver Nuggets
Denver's
jersey.
last year though, the Mile High City ones, the royal blue jerseys were nice last year. Next we have the Detroit Pistons, man. Every single Detroit Pistons City jersey had just been about the Motor City.
So bad.
Better
They're bad.
than.
See, I think I like last year's better.
The red ones, like with the stripe down the middle.
Yeah.
See, I didn't like those, but I really don't like these because one, how is this different than our away jersey? Yeah. Our away jersey looks just like this with the blue, but it just says Pistons or Detroit on it. Mm-hmm. Like it's the city. Like these are the same colorway as your away jerseys. They're supposed to be different. Like
2.
I'm giving it like a 1 out of 10.
They're bad.
Like they are probably the worst one in my opinion. Like just so boring. Like
so boring.
Super boring. Next we have the Warrior. I almost said the Oakland. The Golden State Warriors, man. These are fire. These Oakland ones, I mean, these are the classics pretty much.
Yeah, this is a 9.
I'm giving it an 8.5.
Makes me think of Baron Davis, and I like Baron Davis.
These are super cool because I think they moved to San Francisco, so they're kind of just giving love to Oakland because they left. Man, I'm a huge fan of these.
See,
the Houston Rockets. The colors of loyalty. It says they had their city jerseys last year were kind of just like these. They were red, kind of like how the Pistons. They were just the same as their away. I just like these because it's different. Like Houston never rocked blue.
It's gonna be really weird to see Harden in a blue jersey again. That's for sure.
Right,
like that is gonna be. weird.
I like these a lot. I might get a John Wall one of these. Like these are fire. I'm giving them a 9 out of 10.
I'm giving them like a 6.5.
I just think I like them because it's different.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Next, the Indiana Pacers.
9.
These are fine. This is a situation where these are the same color as their aways, but they're different though. They're like a throwback. I'm giving it an 8. Yeah.
I'm a guy who you'll see Kenny in his video when you watch it.
Yeah.
He loves pinstripes. I'm the same.
I like pinstripes.
I think
too.
pinstripes make the coolest jerseys.
They just make them. It gives it like the throwback vibe.
Because like you have Toronto's pinstripes, you have the Orlando Magic, the Pacers. I love this jersey. 9.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of it as well. Next, we have the LA Clippers. This one looks like theirs last year, but it's just kind of opposite colorway. It's black instead of white. I was a huge fan of their white one last year. I will admit, this one isn't as cool to me as the white one last year.
I think this one looks a lot cleaner.
Really? I thought the white one was really good.
I thought last year's looked messy to me.
Really?
Yeah.
See, this one, I like this one. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. It's nice. I do love the font. I'm a big fan of the Los Angeles font.
Reminds me of GTA. I'm giving it a 7.
7? Yeah, that's what I gave. Next, we have the Lakers. Very clean white and blue look in honor of Elgin Baylor, they say. Gives to their Laker background, actually. I do like these, but they're not like my favorite. I'm not as high as these as everyone else is because they are pretty simple.
See, I love them. Because I
like them a lot too.
When I'm playing 2K, I'm definitely using the baby blue Lakers jerseys, like all the time.
But the thing is though, and I look at the Clippers one. I like the Clippers one more than the Lakers one. So I'm gonna give it a 6.5.
I'm giving it an 8.5.
Really interesting. Next, the Memphis Grizzlies.
Memphis doesn't miss.
They also released their classic jerseys, and they're kind of similar to this, a little different colorway. Super fire. These are at least a 9.
Oh, they're 9.5 for me.
The art on the side is awesome. I'm a huge fan of this.
Makes me want to get a jaw jersey.
This is awesome. Next, the Miami Heat, man. Everyone been raving about this Miami Heat jersey.
I've seen a lot of split things about this jersey. I think it looks like cotton candy. I don't like it. I think it's a big step back from their Vice jerseys.
Well, it's just kind of, they said also they're going to be their last Vice themed jersey. They're done with it after because they've done the pink was the first year.
No, black was the first year.
I thought black was last year. Blue was last year. Black was the first year, then it was pink, then it was the blue, and now they just combined the blue and pink.
I don't like it.
I'm gonna give it a 5.5 out of 10.
I'm gonna give it like a
I'm not that big. Yeah, I'm not as big on it as everyone else.
I would never wear that jersey.
No, I don't think I would either. Like it just kind of looks goofy.
It looks silly.
Yeah.
And like when they're gonna be on the court, they're gonna look like they're not gonna look like oh man, these dudes look dope. It's gonna be like, oh, they kind of look childish. Like, it looks like a kid designed their jerseys.
Yeah. It's I'm not a big fan.
Looks like I did it in 6th grade.
Next, we have the Milwaukee Bucks jersey. I am a big fan of this jersey.
I think these jerseys are nice, but not that nice.
I like them. I'm gonna go 7.5 out of 10. 7.5.
6.5.
I really like the two-tone blue. Like, I don't know why, because usually stuff like that I'm not that big of a fan of, but I really am like that, and it's just different.
It's gonna be different.
Milwaukee City jerseys, I will say, have consistently been nice jerseys. Like every year, the Cream City ones actually were pretty dope last year. They've done the yellow ones. Like, they're always different, and I'm a big fan of that. Next, the Minnesota Timberwolves representing the North Star. Really simple jersey. You know, it's
blah.
It's not bad, but it's not good. It's a 5. It's right in the middle.
Yeah,
for me.
it's a 3. I think that you need to branch out a little bit more.
Like,
with your city
it's
jerseys.
simple, but it's I do kind of like some simple ones. Like, it doesn't look bad in any way.
They just didn't branch out.
Yeah,
it doesn't look
exactly.
like they could come out and say that's their new jersey for their NBA season. I wouldn't think anything
Right.
of it.
Next, the New Orleans Pelicans.
Probably the worst one.
I'm not a fan of it. I wouldn't say it's the worst one, but I'm not that big of a fan of it. No.
But what team is that?
Yeah, I know. It doesn't show that. It doesn't show their name on it.
They don't have a name. It's just a bunch of the Florida
the emblem. Yeah, I couldn't tell you what it is, but
I don't.
I'm gonna go 3 out of 10.
I'm gonna go 2.
It's all right.
It's a bad
not
jersey.
the best. Next, one of my favorites, man, the Oklahoma City Thunder jersey. Now, this one is, they didn't change their colorway at all, but I just love the black, how they mix pretty much all of them together. I love the stripe, the orange stripe going down the middle. Just says Oklahoma on it, not Oklahoma City. This is a 9.5 out of 10.
Wow. I'm not a huge fan
Really?
of it. It looks a lot like the Pacers, the Portland Trail Blazers to me. I'm gonna give it a 7.
Really? I mean,
Yeah.
7's still pretty good.
Yeah,
but
that's pretty.
I think 9.5 is the highest. I'm only gonna give 110. I know exactly which one it is.
I
but
gave it 9.5 on what jersey?
I don't remember.
On one of them.
Yeah, I don't know, but I like the Oklahoma City Thunder one a lot. Next, the Orlando Magic. This one isn't bad, but I don't know. It's not bad. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. Like, it's clean. It's pinstripe. The orange is kind of cool. It's a little different, so I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10.
I'm going 8.5.
Oh, really? You
I really
really
like
like it?
these jerseys. I wish there
They're
was somebody
clean,
on the Magic that I really, really
I
liked.
thought you
'cause
like Aaron Gordon a lot.
I do, but not enough to get a jersey. of him.
Yeah.
Like John Isaac. I feel like he's
Cole
coming off
Anthony.
injury. I've talked pretty poorly of Cole Anthony.
Next, the Philadelphia 76ers. This one is pretty dope.
These are heat.
These are fire. I'm gonna go 9 out of 10.
I'm gonna go 8.5. I love the I don't even know what that is across the middle of the jersey, like the stripe.
Yeah, it's just like a bunch of houses. But
It's so dope.
super cool. It gives you the AI vibes. The first time the black jerseys in Philly since AI. I'm a big fan of them. Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And Philly don't miss. Philly don't miss.
Philly
either.
don't miss.
They've made a lot of really good jerseys. 20 out of 10.
It's
Phoenix
so
Suns,
fire.
20 out of 10. The Valley. I mean, you cannot look at this jersey and say that is not excellent. Like, I need one.
My Booker jersey is gonna be so.
I gotta
fire.
get a Chris Paul one, right?
I'm getting the most fire Devin.
and you
Booker
can buy
jersey
these
ever.
now too, which is super dangerous because I have had a problem with buying sports merchandise.
There is
lately.
not a day out of the week where he doesn't text me about a new shirt or, dude, you'll never guess what I'm gonna surprise you with.
Especially with Christmas shopping too. Like, every time I've been shopping for somebody online, I'll buy something for myself, like, while I'm on that website, because, like, I might as well.
Every
right?
single time I'm seeing.
I have like 4 new shirts coming in. Like,
he
this
hits me
week.
with the Easton, dude. I got a surprise. You got to guess who my shirt is or what my shirt is, and it's like he doesn't tell me NFL, NBA. I really got to dig deep into my bag to guess what his shirt's gonna be. And he does it every week.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Next, I've heard a lot of bad things about this Portland Trailblazers jersey. I like it. I am a fan of it. I know it's brown, but I just like the Oregon. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10.
I'm gonna give it a. I love the Oregon font. I don't like the brown. Again,
I
it
don't
reminds me of
mind
the
the brown.
ugly Mavericks jerseys.
because I think that the red and blue, like, honestly
Make it look cool.
fits the brown. It doesn't make it look weird.
I'm gonna give it a 4.5. I wouldn't rock one.
I probably I might rock one. I don't know.
It'd be
I like
kind of
it.
hard. You have to wear like jeans.
You'd have to wear, and like, what kind of hoodie you wearing underneath that? Like a black hoodie? Probably not.
No, I don't know.
Like
what
a
you wear.
white hoodie? You might have to wear a red
You
hoodie.
might just not wear a hoodie.
Yeah.
You might
Yeah,
just go
that's true.
shirtless.
Next, the Sacramento Kings. They're still sticking with the Sac Town. Got the checkered side.
And I
look.
like the stripes on these. I like the two-tone stripes.
Not bad to me. It's pretty simple, but The Sacramento is also another team that usually has pretty nice jerseys. I'm going to go 6 out of 10.
I'm going to go 6 out of 10.
Pretty nice.
I agree.
Next.
These are fire.
Okay, I lied when I said I only have one 10
These
out of
are
10.
fire.
These are a 10 out of 10. San Antonio Spurs, their city jerseys usually are trash because they're like their regular jerseys. They never branch out. These are spectacular. Oh my gosh. Not just the stripes, but the San Antonio font too is really nice.
It's a very pretty jersey.
Yeah, it is. Like I could so rock this jersey.
Yeah,
I might not get one because
who
on the Spurs do I?
DeJounte Murray.
DeJounte, but that's about it.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. I really like them jerseys.
I'm going to go 10 out of 10. Next, we have the Toronto Raptors.
Keeping the Drake theme.
Yeah, it is a really OVO Drake theme.
Last year was literally their city jerseys were the OVO, right?
Yeah, they had the owl on it and everything. Yeah. These are simple, but they're nice. They're really clean. The gold, black and gold, you can't go wrong with that. I'm gonna go 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it like a 6, just because they didn't really branch out from last year. It's just kind of the same.
But they're nice though. Like,
they're
you can't
still
say
dope.
that they're not nice.
Like I could see myself in a Fred VanVleet jersey.
I think we just got a couple left here. Next, the Utah Jazz, very similar to their last year's jersey. It's just kind of black at the bottom instead of sticking with the like yellow and orange type look. I'm gonna give it like a 3 out of 10.
They need to branch out a 3.
They've had that jersey for like the last 2 years.
Yeah. You need to change
it was
them up.
cool the first year.
Yeah, it was super cool.
But it's like, okay, we've seen this jersey next. Like this, and this one just doesn't even. I don't think the black like fits with it at all.
It looks like the wrong color.
Yeah. And then last one, the Washington Wizards. I think I've seen this jersey like at least 20 times.
I think they wore it in their practice.
I will
jerseys.
say the flag thing like on the side, that's new. Like the
stars and
the stars and the two stripes, that is pretty nice. But I've seen this DC front. Like I definitely have seen this before.
It feels like a practice jersey to me.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I'm gonna go 3.5 out of 10.
I'm gonna go 2.
Like the side is kind of cool, but that's pretty much it.
And we can do the Knicks, even though we don't have the Knicks picture.
Oh yeah, I don't have the picture of it, but
Knicks is ugly.
Yeah, it's like
bad.
a 1 out of 10.
It's
not as bad as the Pistons. I think I gave the Pistons a 1 out of 10, so probably 1.5 for the Knicks.
It's just good that the two of the worst teams in the league have the worst jerseys.
Right. So
it's just fitting.
Is there anything else you want to talk about before we end today's episode?
No, I think that's all it.
Yeah, so pretty much Wednesday, we're going to have our next power rankings come out. We have some big things coming up this month and next month on the podcast. So
next Saturday, hopefully we have something really special.
Yeah, hopefully
we'll see.
that's kind of the plan.
Confirmed by Wednesday.
Yeah, so yeah, thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Peace out.
Peace.